Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your hosts, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I'm Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics and maybe a little beyond. 256-234-6221 is our number here. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. If you got any comments about any of the things that we talk about, by all means, we would love to hear from you. Go and check out us on social media as well. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Go and check us out on Facebook. You can, the old-fashioned way on TV, however you choose to consume our content, we would appreciate it and love to interact with you in any way that we can. Ohio State defeats Notre Dame last night in the national championship game. Ohio State, first time in the national championship since 2014. Notre Dame still without one since 1988. But it turned out to be a pretty good, exciting game in the second half. The first half, it looked like it was going to be a runaway, but nonetheless.
First half was what I expected.
Yeah.
I mean, I expected that to – I think Ohio State got bored. They were up 31-7, and – you know, I give Notre Dame credit on the first drive, 18 plays. I didn't care about this. I literally, it's one of the rare times in the last 25 years I hadn't cared.
Really?
Alabama, Notre Dame, didn't care, knew it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Outside of that, man, I mean, is there a common denominator with Notre Dame being in there that I'm just like, I don't really care? I mean, it's like, you know, I'll preface that. I like Riley Leonard. I like Will Howard. Both are portal quarterbacks that took new teams to a national championship. It played out about like I thought. Notre Dame has struggled offensively throughout, you know, pretty much the season. I mean, with a lot of teams, not just – but they had a path in the playoffs that was conducive to make it, and, you know, they were able to work their way there. And Ohio State's been the hottest team in the playoffs, and, you know, they just destroyed Tennessee, destroyed Oregon, had a close game with Texas, but ended up winning that one at the end. And then, you know, they were destroying Notre Dame. And I think most everybody that had any semblance of wanting to watch that game turned it off at half and maybe right into the first part of the third quarter. I know I didn't watch much. We're all in a group text and –
well, when they broke that long run,
right,
the first of the second half, everybody went, yeah.
Well, and then I get the text that, you know, and I saw him fumble Ibuka, and then Notre Dame comes down, and, you know, everybody wanting to crucify Marcus Freeman for kicking that field goal. Man, I mean, you know, there's still plenty of time in the game. It was 4th and goal from the 9. It's not like it was a gimme. And if you kick a field goal, it's 31-18, and you get points out of it, and you still keep momentum. And, you know, on the flip side, you got the momentum. Why not go and try to cut it to one score? But at the end of the day, he ended up getting anything out of it because he doinked one off the dime upright. So, I mean, you know, it was just kind of one of those things where, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. But yeah. I think that was a little bit too much angst to give to Marcus Freeman. I thought for the most part he did the best with what he had, and Ohio State was clearly the better team, and they went to sleep. They were on the verge of really putting Notre Dame away a couple times and couldn't do it, and allowed Notre Dame to hang around, and they made a game out of it at the end. But at the when the chips were on the line, Will Howard made a good throw to the best receiver maybe in college football this year.
Yeah, he was really. I mean, like you say, 4th down, to make a throw like that,
right.
That was just a huge play, and that's what's going to be remembered from that game. But
well, it sealed the game.
Jim and I talked about this yesterday. It was kind of odd coming in. You know, Notre Dame was the team that came in wanting to run the football, and Ohio State was the team that threw the ball much better, and it turned out the reverse. Notre Dame could not run the ball, and Ohio State ended up running for over 200 yards.
Well,
in the game.
Hasn't this tale as old as time? Teams that run the football the best usually win. And, once again, I don't care how different the style of offenses are in the year 2024 and 25. If you can run the football, you're going to control the line of scrimmage, and you're probably controlling the pace of the game. And doesn't necessarily mean you win it every time, but it gives you – that old stat in Iron Bowl forever is the team that rushed for the most yards always seemed to win for the most part, like 90% of the time. And Quinshon Judkins obviously made the right decision for him to leave Ole Miss, and he went to Ohio State. Obviously, he got more money, but he also went to a better team, and he won a national title. If he'd have stayed at Ole Miss, there's no question he'd have had a good year. He would have contributed to Ole Miss's success this year, may have helped them get over the hump in one of those games, and may have helped Ole Miss get in the playoffs if he'd have stayed on that team. But at the end of the day, Ole Miss didn't make it. Ohio State did, and he won a title. And if he'd have stayed at Ole Miss, he probably wouldn't have.
That's true. When we look back at it, okay, we've had the 12-team playoff now. We've experienced it for the first time. Everybody can look and say, okay, well, we can tweak this and we can tweak that. But
glaring problem number one for me, Andy, not to cut you off, is it's too long. This game got buried under a lot of – I don't know what the ratings are going to be. We've been talking about it on the podcast. I know you guys have been talking about it. I just want to see – and if they're out the roof, then so be it. And I'll eat my words, but I saw a lot of people tweeting out, and just the sentiment I felt for the last week or so. I have, it's been a while since I've seen a game with this little hype surrounding it. And it may be because we don't have somebody in the state that's not in it, or in the Southeastern Conference that's in it. Time will tell when they release the ratings on this, but I want to see what they are. And those are two blue blood programs in college football. You would think they would garner a lot of eyeballs, but I think a lot of people have moved on, and we're deep into the college basketball season now. The NFL playoffs are coming down to the end, and the inauguration yesterday just kind of dominated news coverage everywhere. And
that was unfortunate. Yeah.
Well, but I just think I think it's too far down the line. You don't need to be playing a college football national championship game in the third week of January. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
Used to you played these games on January 1st. We it's not only that we're almost to February now. It's not just that
spring practice is starting March.
I know.
For a lot of teams, and then you got these teams that just finished. They got a chance to get in the portal now.
Yeah.
Because their season just ended, so there's a lot of moving and shaking. And what if Ryan Day takes an NFL job? He may get the hell out of town. Now that he's caught all this angst for the last several years, he finally got over the hump. He may pull the hardball and say, y'all don't have this.
Yeah.
I built the roster. Look, I've seen all kind of different things, and we talk about it ad nauseum, but Ohio State had the most expensive roster in college football. And going into the season, everybody said they better win it. And Ryan Day will probably lose his job. And after the Michigan game, he was on about as low of a point in his career as I think. And they'd had a good year, and they made the playoffs, but they lost 13-10 at home to a Michigan team that had a losing record, I think, going into that game, or it was 500, somewhere around in that neck of the woods. So, he got the pressure in college football is growing tremendously, and all these good coaches are reconsidering if they've got other options, Andy. Maybe to get out. And I don't know what's going to end up happening, but another maybe unpopular thought that was relayed last week was Paul Feinbaum saying the week of and I don't think he meant it dishonorably or any cut toward either one, but Army-Navy weekend's a waste to have just that game on. Back everything up and start the playoffs then. and then move Army Navy to some other time, or eliminate the conference championship games and start the playoffs early. They're going to have to do something, man. This is too long. It's too far down the line. It just did not feel like the college football national championship for me last night. It just didn't.
Well, the one aspect that I can say is what I've been saying for years and what I wanted to see, and that is that Ohio State earned it on the field. It wasn't a one-game shot. It wasn't a, this should have been this matchup. It should have been that matchup. I mean, you can say what you will. These are the teams that were at the top of the standings for most of the year, and you can say, well, one team should have been in there, another team, one or two, okay, fine, but Ohio State won the games on the field and earned the national championship, and that's okay with me. That aspect of it is fine. We can tweak it this way and tweak the seeds and all this.
They were the best team. No, they were. They bought the roster, and people can get upset about it if they want. I mean, I heard Nick Saban just going off on this. Look, Nick Saban's a great coach, but it's hard for me to sit up there and listen to a guy that lets all understand that he had control of the underworld of getting who he wanted in college football to come in and play for him, and now that things are on an equitable level out front, all of a sudden he retires.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's all that went into it. I know but I agree on a lot of points he's saying too, but he also benefited from a system that allowed him to go out and do whatever he wanted to do. And I'm sorry, you can say you don't like what I said, and you can say you disagree, and get your head out of the sand, and you can figure it out from there. So
up against our first break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check them out. Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierras side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. Take your choice of brand new 2024 Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off, or 0% financing plus no payments till springtime. Here at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Just getting started here on the show today. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. We'll go to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline and welcome in our old pal James from Opelika.
Hey.
James, what's going on?
Guys. How y'all
What's up, brother?
How you doing?
All right, it's snowing down here in Auburn, Opelika.
Oh, really?
It's not snowing up here. Well, I expected it to snow down there where you guys were. Y'all are below the line, so y'all are gonna get some. I don't think we are.
Big Ten been to win it for a little while, guys. You look at the SEC coming back next year. You don't even know what team in the SEC look like they ready to compete, man. And the thing that I saw about the Big Ten, they done went to old SEC football. They love to play that trenches, like JJ was saying the other week. They back in the trenches now. They beating people up. We down here playing this finesse football. We don't even know if a guy want to play football or not because he being hit in the mouth. Anybody can run around and be prima donna, but when you line them up and say, okay, I got to hit you in the mouth 10 times, that's when you know you got football players. And then to notice, the other thing I noticed about the Big Ten, they done start doing a lot of blitzing. They used to win blitz, but they blitz now to get teams off they go. And the other thing is, they don't have no 6'5", 350-pound defensive linemen. All of them around the 300 whatever mark, but not 6'5", 350, and they don't play no three-man line. That three-man line to me is the worst thing in football. But this is why I call it though. The NIL done had some unintended consequences. Did you see that Indiana is about to lay off 25 athletic department people to get ready for the $25, $26, $20 million that they're going to have to pay the athletes? That's the unintended consequences. They finna start laying people off at the athletic department. And the other thing I was going to ask you guys is this. With that lawsuit that they bought, I saw where they said they're going to pay former players along with these players. How far are they going back to pay former players? Maybe I can get some of that money from way back in the day. And then the other thing I was going to see, I saw the rosters that they added to baseball and football and gymnasts and volleyball and track. They added a whole bunch of people. And I was wondering, is all those people going to be on scholarship or are they going to be partial? You know how they pay them out in baseball, give a little bit to this guy, a little bit to this guy scholarship or whatever. But those are my concern. I see Indiana is laying off 25 people from the athletic department getting ready for this money that they're going to have to pay out. Thank you.
Appreciate it, James.
Yeah.
All good points.
Well, I think college football. I'll start with college football. It's at a low point. I think from an energy standpoint of I think the fans are, and what I mean by that, ratings may say otherwise in the numbers, and I know that does count. Obviously, that's what you look at in advertisers and all that. But I think generally the fans for most schools are frustrated. And, again, I think the unintended consequences, like James said, we all knew that was coming. I mean, you can't just keep paying everybody as much money as they want, and there's not money trees growing on campus for you to go out there and pick. There's no rules right now. That's the problem. Everything, and then going to the scholarship deal. They up those. No, those are scholarship numbers, James. When they up the numbers in baseball, and
those are going to be full scholarships.
Those are all going to be full scholarships. There's no partial anymore. That's what everybody was complaining about when it came to baseball. Which,
now, it needed to go
no,
up in baseball.
it did. But what he's saying is that now you're adding that on top of everything else.
Yeah.
And there is a value, believe it or not, to that. I know a lot of people don't talk about it anymore, but there's a value to going to school and not having to pay for your classes and, your books and things like that. We're more attuned to talk about NIL and all. But, look, I don't have an answer to it, man. And Nick Saban said it last night, and, he caught some grief on social media. I talked to you about it just now. But he just basically said, the people out there need to know this model is unsustainable. One school can't spend $30 million for players while another is spending $3 million. Well, it is. It's what's happening. And, I sent out a thing to you guys from Joel Klatt. Said, this is supposed to be the pinnacle of our sport, the destination for every player, coach, and fan, yet somebody decided that playing the national championship game on a Monday night deep into the NFL playoffs was a good idea. The mismanagement of college football has been egregious. All of this goes hand in hand. You got just spending bukus of money on players and rosters. You got no consistency to why we're doing what we're doing with the play. I know it's the first year. There's just a lot of broken stuff right now. They got to reel it in, man, and figure it out.
Well, as far as the rosters go, it'll go as long. I mean, it'll be sustainable as long as the boosters will make it sustainable.
For certain schools.
I mean,
for certain
it's
schools.
like anything else. I mean, as long as somebody will pay for it, it'll keep happening.
For certain schools.
For certain schools. Now, for the top 25 schools.
Well, I think I sent another text over to you guys from a guy, and don't really know. I think he's a Bammer, but he brings up good points as well. I don't really know at the end of the day where all this is going to land. And again, basically, he was saying the highest paid rosters what's going to win out, and that's what we saw this year in college football. And has that been the case in the past? Again, this has been our first opportunity to really monitor how much schools pay for players. We know colleges have been paying players for decades.
Yeah,
but it's all been under the table.
We're talking about in the thousands. Now we're talking about in the millions.
Well, we don't know what somebody has been paying in the last, 10, 15 years. You'd probably be shocked. I mean, it wouldn't be $30 million, but, they may have paid $3 to $5 million.
They're reporting now that Carson Beck's getting paid $9 million.
That's just so stupid, man.
I mean,
it's just so stupid.
Are you kidding me? I mean,
he don't need to go to the NFL. He's making more money.
He's gonna make twice.
Do you know he's making way more money than Bo Nix in the NFL? And Bo Nix was drafted 12th, by the way, and he's making way more money.
As far as the staffs at college football athletic departments, we'll get to that after this break. Don't go anywhere. More to come on the Auburn Blitz.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, we care about the air you breathe. Call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, we care about the air you breathe.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Runner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Only about 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much.
I'm glad Ryan Day's leg didn't get cut off on that golf cart last night.
It's a little
She
dangerous.
just rammed that thing all up in the daggum
That was the
wall.
worst hit of the game.
By far. I mean,
My
did you see
goodness.
Will Howard's neck? He said he went, I mean, because she hit the daggum gas and boy
Ryan
ran
Day, Will Howard, all in a golf cart, and some girl runs it slap into the wall. I don't even know.
She
what
felt
did,
terrible.
but
I mean,
yeah,
it got away
she did.
from her, I guess. But, I mean, it hit on that. His leg was hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, if it had been turned a little bit more, that would have been a story.
We are brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center with 9 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supplies, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. Also, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job's too big, no job's too small, commercial or residential. And Sensagreen for air that's fresh, clean, and warm. Give
Needs
them a call
to be
today.
warm and
Heating,
clean
cooling,
today.
and insulation. Sensagreen, 334-487-3555. As far as, James brought up some interesting points about the unintended consequences of the NIL era of college football, the transfer portal and all this, especially the NIL with college, Indiana laying off a lot of. Look, I look at Auburn's athletic department. Now, I don't want anybody to lose their job, okay, but I can't help but look at it over the years and I say, what does that guy even do? So I'm sure cutting the fat a little bit from athletic departments, probably not a bad thing in some respects, but
it's just the Doge version of, the government, the government agency to cut out waste. I mean,
government efficiency.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe we need some efficiency in athletic.
Well, I think that's what we do.
Well.
I mean, there's no doubt there's a lot of people making big salaries, and you probably go, well, what do they do again?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Again, is that enough to make up for spending $30 million on a roster to win? And I pulled that text up.
Yeah, that's a minor little thing if you're going to pay a quarterback $9 million.
Well, the guy that I was talking about said, congrats to Ohio State on buying a national championship. Money well spent. I know this is the new era of college football, but it stinks to see the trend, this trend working. It will only encourage more, let's see what he says on here, more
of the same.
Well, more desperate teams to buy their way to the top. And it says, am I right or am I wrong? What do you classify as a desperate team? A desperate team, a desperate program. I mean, we've seen NIL and the portal make teams that otherwise, a la Auburn basketball, national contenders. Let's just be honest about it. So we can sit on here and we can criticize that, and I don't like it. But if that's the game you're going to play, he can sit there and say lesser than teams or desperate programs. No, what that sounds like is that you're pissed because you've always had a blue blood team, and now teams like Ole Miss and SMU and teams that have been left for dead now can come up there and compete with you on a year in and year out basis based on who goes and wins, out in the portal and wins in the NIL game.
Well, didn't Texas A&M try to buy?
They did. It didn't work. Didn't work out very well.
So,
they kind of set that trend.
It's not a guarantee.
No, it's not. I got another topic that goes hand in hand with this. How do you recruit blue chip quarterbacks moving forward in this era? Talked about it on the portal this morning. Andy, Auburn's got one kid coming in this junior day, 3-star from Grayson, which Auburn's trying to get 2 or 3 players off that Grayson team that are much higher rated, 2 linebackers to be, named really the ones that they're focusing on right now. But the quarterback's a 3-star. Now, he's a big kid, but he's not one of the top-rated quarterbacks. Auburn's only bringing him in. So does that mean they're not going to go get somebody else, or they don't have somebody else on the radar? No, it doesn't. But they're bringing one quarterback into this high-profile day. I just think they know that they got Jackson Arnold and they got Deuce Knight. Why would we go spend a bunch of money on a 26 top-ranked quarterback for him to come join this room and sit around? I mean,
we can just wait and get one out of the portal.
Well, right. I think that's kind of, or
if we need it.
If you need it, because so I think from year to year it's going to be determined on what your quarterback room looks like and what you got coming back, whether you go after a high stud, a high star, a stud type quarterback that you feel like you need to go out and get. You don't have to be in the race every year.
Well,
because everybody's not going to sit around.
The days of, remember when Georgia and had 3 5-star.
Yeah.
Those days are over.
Well, we're looking at the end of that right now. You had
over.
Carson Beck, Gunnar Stockton, and Vandergriff that ended up at Kentucky. I mean, all of those guys were 5 stars. And you were like, well, who's going to play? And you're like, well, you know, you're not going
to be able to afford to do that anymore.
No, you can't do it. So, you know, I had some people asking. The reason I bring that up, I had some people going, why isn't Auburn bringing in a top-rated quarterback, you know, in this junior day that's coming in on Saturday? I'm like, well, crap, you just got 2 guys that ain't played snap yet at Auburn, and you paid both of them no telling what.
Yeah.
You going to add a logjam in there? I don't know. Both of them may not pan out, but it's hard to believe that.
It's all about value now. What are you going to get?
That's it.
I mean, you got to base about what you can afford with what, you know, you're going to get from it, you know. So you're going to have some smart people with some business-type mentality to go in and really have some – I mean, really, you're going to need a department of efficiency.
You should.
To get the value out of these players. So, because that's what it's come to now.
I agree with
that. Don't go anywhere. We're got to take a break, but we'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after these messages.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I'm pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. we're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Just a couple of more segments left in today's show. I'd like to remind you about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. Tremendous place to get some great food in Montgomery and Auburn area.
Man,
got a
awesome.
great deal going on right now.
Yeah, the January grilling box for $85. 4 of the prime cut pork chops, which if you not had any of those, I mean, that's a steal in itself. 4 of the Conecuh burger patties, which are huge and about that thick.
They are really.
And then the 4 ground steak patties. They take the remains of the ribeye cuts that they do, and they pat that out into a burger. So this isn't ground beef. This is like prime steak trimmings that they put into the burger, and then you get a pack of Conecuh sausage to go with it, and go price that at the store, and you'll see how affordable that. You get all that for $85. I mean, you're looking at feeding, what, 12 people?
Yeah.
I mean, at least. That's a lot of food, man, for $85. Go to the restaurant and eat for 2 at a nice restaurant and see what that bill runs you. Going to be way more than $85.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Well, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, they just keep pushing out unbelievable deals like that. They have deals every week. You can go to their website and check that out and look at it for, they got their daily specials, Andy, that we used to rattle off all the time, and we can still talk about those. But they got so many, it'd take us about 30 minutes of the show to talk about all the great things that Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine do. So go check them out in Auburn, on East Glen, or in Pepper Tree in Montgomery.
And their website, steaksinwine.com. That's just the letter N, steaksinwine.com.
Right.
Ty says, I agree with Brett. The championship is too late in the season. Do y'all think Broom will play against Tennessee? I hope so. I think there's a chance.
I think we're going to see him.
He was walking around pretty good on that boot.
No, to what capacity?
Georgia,
Did you see the TikTok with him dancing and he didn't have the boot on? Mm-mm. Yeah, so he kind of sent a subliminal message out yesterday or day before. Actually, may have been on Sunday. So I think he'll play. I don't know how much. They'll watch that and they'll monitor that. If he's ready to go, they'll play him.
Yeah.
If not, they'll keep him out. And, again, it's not the end of the world. Auburn, I'd love to see us win them all. Probably not going to happen. Nobody does that. And, Kentucky was the last one to do that, I think, when they went 30-0 and went to the semifinals and got beat by Wisconsin.
Tennessee's going through some struggles right now.
No, they are. They are.
It's a good time. You're getting them at home. Game day's going to be there. No doubt it will be an incredible crowd. So, I'd love for him to play, but you don't want to push him, like you said. Better to have him in March than have him in January.
No doubt about it. Ed said, late to the show, has Ohio State set the bar on what it takes NIL roster costs $20+ million to really have a chance to win the national championship? I do. Yeah, I think so, Ed. I really do. They had the best roster in college football this year, and they won the national championship, and they spent the most money documented that we all know of. Now, I think Oregon's trying to do that, and Ohio State and Oregon faced each other, and Ohio State blew their doors off in the Rose Bowl. So Ohio State for some reason had a hiccup against Michigan, but that happens. Ryan Day finally got over the hump, won a national championship. Now the question is, will he bail for an NFL job? Because the pressure he was under, he almost got fired this year. And, you know, he was able to withstand the storm and get the team rallied and win the college football playoff. But I can see I saw a guy walking down the tunnel last night that was just looked like he was relieved more than he was ecstatic.
Did you see Herb Street weeping last night?
No, I tried. No, I didn't see it.
No, look, I mean, but he went on and you know, when I call these games, I'm unbiased.
Yeah,
I'm unbiased.
right.
I'm unbiased.
Until he cries.
Until he cries afterward. But I mean, he's like really good buddies with Ryan Day apparently.
Right.
And,
he was just happy for him. I mean, just probably happy for him.
Talking about, you know, all that they did go through, and then everybody wanted to fire him and all this kind of stuff, and so
you know, Nick Saban came to his defense. Kirk Herbstreit came to his. I mean, a lot of people. I think it's ridiculous that, you know, he has struggled against Michigan. What is he, 1-4?
Yep.
Against Michigan. I mean,
he won the first one.
Rival games matter, and if you don't,
Bill Kerr.
Yeah, absolutely, and. So you can win all these games and do all this stuff and can't get over the hump with your rival. They want you out, especially in Ohio State and Michigan, and it's the same way with Auburn and Alabama. And, you know, that's, again, we're just trying to win games here. It's drifted beyond, you know, the rivalry game for us. We're trying to get back to a team that can be competitive. But I think, Ed, I think you're right. I mean, that's the blueprint. We've talked about it a few times already earlier in the program. People are saying that. If you can go spend the most money, get the best players, it ups your chances. Does it mean you're going to win it every time? No. But are you going to have a high probability? Yeah. I mean, they went out, Notre Dame and Ohio State went out and got 2 portal quarterbacks. So whoever they recruited out of school didn't work out for them. So they end up going and finding the guy they feel like worked, and it did for both of them.
Think about this, Brett. They not only went out and got 2 portal quarterbacks, they went to Duke and they went to Kansas State.
Yep.
And those were the 2 quarterbacks in the national championship game.
Right, yeah.
Kansas State and Duke.
Then they went and got an Ole Miss running back.
And an old.
I mean, look, you can say what you want to say, but guys blossom. And, you know, we always said it was the big boys taking the players from Morehead State and McNeese State and all that. Well, now it's the big boys taken from the big boys.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they can come pluck somebody off your roster, and you can go pluck somebody off somebody else's roster if you're in that Power 4 group now. Nobody's safe.
Up against another break. One more segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Tuesday, right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your number one stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit alagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
Welcome back, everyone, to the
Keep on
Auburn
going.
Blitz.
Keep on going.
Yeah, Andy and Brett here with you. One final segment on the show today. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Ty said, "So, what kind of baseball season do you think we'll have this year? Heard we have some good pitchers if we stay healthy. Well, if we stay on track, Butch has had a couple of good years and then a rebuilding year, and a couple of good years and a rebuilding year. So last year was definitely the rebuilding year.
Right.
Hopefully we will bounce back this year. We went out and got some really good guys from the portal, which baseball's been doing for years.
Right.
But they've always been really good about going out. Him and Nonamaker and Gabe Gross, and so I think there's some really young pitching that's coming in this year, and I think Auburn's got a chance to really compete. And hopefully, when these scholarships take hold, and we can have a 30. What is it? They're expecting about 30 scholarships instead of 11.7. That will really benefit Auburn, I think.
Right.
Auburn and Alabama, for that matter.
For sure.
Alabama's baseball program used to be really good.
Man,
it is for the last 15 years, it's just been awful.
I know it. Well, you just can't compete, man. Yeah. It's apples to oranges and what you can offer. So, yeah, we get closer to that. We'll know more, and hopefully we'll be rebounding from that.
Auburn, the first time ever in program history, a unanimous number one.
That's where I was
on
going
the
with
AP poll.
Yep. Shouldn't take us 53 minutes to get to that in the show.
It should not.
They should have been what we headlined with, and we talked about on the podcast this morning. Again, when you think we've done everything that we could possibly do, we do something else, and you set records and break milestones and that's what Bruce Pearl's done since he's been at Auburn, and here's another one. Going on 2 weeks now as the number 1 team in the country, and probably should have been number 1 prior to that, but Tennessee, it took Tennessee getting knocked off. Now they've lost a couple games and dropped all the way down to 6. Duke's 2, and Iowa State dropped a spot to 3. They dropped another game, but West Virginia's really, really good, and so they knocked Iowa State off. And but you look at it, you just play it game by game. Auburn, the time off this week came at a really good time, and especially with Janai Broome hopefully getting back very soon. And you got Tennessee coming in. This front part of the schedule has really played out well for Auburn. So going for ACC win number 6, that'll get you a third of the way through the schedule. You'll be a third of the way in at that point, Andy. So a big win there at Tennessee, or against Tennessee at home, and you maintain a 1-game lead on Alabama and Ole Miss.
10 quad 1 wins.
It's amazing.
By far the most of any team in the country. So not only is Auburn achieving these things, I mean, they are setting themselves up to be, right now, the number 1 overall seed in the country.
Right.
Now, it's a long way to go, and we'll see what will happen. But my goodness, if you're ever going to have a battle-tested team to get to March, this is the one that's going to be it.
Absolutely.
So you've played with your best player. You've played without your best player. You've beaten teams that from the SEC. You've beaten teams from the ACC. You've beaten teams from the Big 12. It doesn't matter. You've taken on all comers. So it's just such an impressive year right now, and we'll hopefully we'll be looking back on this as a monumental season.
Let's look at not to fast forward, but we're about to have 6 games under our belt. What do the next 6 look like after Tennessee? Well, you go on the road to LSU, they're terrible. What a great draw that is to be able to.
South Carolina, we didn't think they were very good either. So
but still, I mean, they're at the bottom.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, say what you want, they're terrible. I mean, doesn't mean you're going. It's an automatic win, but
Arkansas may be the worst team.
They're down there too, but LSU's right there. Then you got to go to Ole Miss. That one's going to be tough. And then Oklahoma comes to Auburn, Florida comes to Auburn, and then you go to Vanderbilt. That's your next 5. Yeah. If you want to count Tennessee, but if you go into the 6th game, the second 6, you end with Alabama on the 15th. So you got Florida at home, Ole Miss on the road, and Alabama on the road. Obviously, the 3 hardest of those games coming up in the next 6. So, and they're road games except for Florida. Florida comes to your place, but they're the number 5 team in the country. So,
again, should be a lot of fun.
Next 6 going to be a little bit tougher than the first 6.
Yeah, and the next 6 after that going to be tougher than that last 6.
Well, since we already did that, let's look at how we finish. Arkansas comes to Auburn, should be a win. Georgia comes to Auburn, should be a win. Ole Miss comes to Auburn, you'd like to return the favor if you happen to lose that game, but you love to defend home turf. Again, that's 3 in a row. Then you go to Kentucky. But Alabama proved you can go up there and shoot well, you can win. We hadn't won since the late 80s, so it would be great to do that. And then you go on the road to Texas A&M and you host Alabama at home. So although it's tough, you got tougher teams, you got a lot of them at home.
Yeah.
So majority of that, I think, is that 4 out of the last 6 at home.
I think
then
so.
You got to take a trip to Texas A&M and Kentucky.
Yeah.
Back to back. And the rest of them at home, man.
That'll be tough.
It's okay. I like the way the schedule plays out.
Yeah, I do too. All right, January 21st. Happy birthday today. Telly Savalas, who loves you, baby. John Chaney, I'm going to kill you, man. Remember when he came in there and threatened to kill John Calipari? That was the funniest thing ever. Jack Nicklaus, born on this day, 1940. 85 years old,
Wow.
Jack Nicklaus.
Hanging on.
Placido Domingo, a high tenor just like you. Mac Davis.
Yeah.
It's hard to be humble.
That's right.
Billy Ocean, Get out of my dreams. Get into my car.
Caribbean Queen.
Caribbean Queen. Gina Davis, Hakeem Olajuwon, the dream.
Absolutely.
And Emma Bunton, one of the Spice Girls. I
don't know which one.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for being with us. He's Brett. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.